Hey everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is a Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, July 12th. I'm going to be picking up Google Glass in about a few hours now, so very excited. I'm going to rush through this, obviously because I have a lot of stuff to do. Anyway, stuff going on. This morning I posted that Google may be updating again. Google Search might be doing some type of Google Search update. Exactly what it is, I'm not exactly sure. It might be Panda, it might not be. Google rolls out these Panda updates very slowly, but there is definitely a lot more chatter going on in the forums about a possible Google update. I don't know if Moz updated yet, but the other ones that have updated have already shown a significant increase in volatility. Yep, Moz updated. It's showing a little bit more than it was yesterday. It's still high weather. Anyway, might be updating. I wrote a blog post this week about guest blogging. We got a tremendous amount of comments. We currently have 88 comments on it. It's basically asking, is guest blogging getting out of control? Are web SEOs and link builders abusing it, and is Google going ahead and having to take action that they might have not wanted to take in the past? So basically, I go through this in detail, quoting how some people are charging almost $5,000 for a guest post on their website, and then how that's actually impacting guest blogging industry in general. Definitely want to take a look at that and check out the chat or the comments about it overall. I also wrote a Webmaster World thread, had a nice discussion around industry-specific search algorithms. So Matt Cutts was asked in Next Event specifically around, does Google have different ranking algorithms for different industries? And Matt Cutts said, not really, no. There's no way to do that in a scalable way, but they are looking at authority in terms of the authority of a specific author and stuff like that, or citing the authority of the site. So it's interesting. It's been going on for a while, this kind of conversation in Google's. Matt Cutts actually went ahead and talked about that for the first time. You definitely want to take a look at that as well. Alright, so this morning I posted about, I've been doing a lot of research. We're playing around with link tools. So Majestic SEO for a long time I've had access to. It's pretty useful in terms of finding links and doing research on those links. But recently I gained access to Link Detox by Link Research Tools. I've been playing around with that for the past, I think, couple weeks now. And finally I was able to find a website in Google Webmaster Help section that Google publicly responded to. So a guy said, why am I having an actual link warning? He posted his URL. A Googler actually went in there and pointed out 2 example URLs. So what I did was, I didn't have access to Google Webmaster Tools link report, so I used the Majestic SEO's report to get a download of all the links that they know about. I then plugged that into into Link Detox. I apologize, I have a cold. And I ran a report. It didn't come back with those 2 links, so then what I went ahead and did was I added those 2 links manually to the Majestic SEO report, re-imported it to Link Detox, and Link Detox only called those links to be moderate risk because they are part of a article directory system. Not a toxic link, but a moderate risk. So it's interesting because Google's actually penalizing this website and calling out those 2 links, whereas there are some other links that are more toxic according to Link Detox, but these are only a moderate risk. In fact, the whole website, according to Link Detox, only had a 4 to 70 moderate risk, whereas Search Engine Roundtable had a almost 600 risk, a higher risk than this other site. And I don't have a link penalty, not currently, so it's really interesting. I looked at other sites. So it falls into the sites that are more white hat in terms of links. Now, to be fair, I use Google Webmaster Tool links for my sites because I have access to that, but I did not use it for this site that posted their information in Google Webmaster Help. Anyway, it's definitely interesting to take a look at. You might want to take a look at that in more detail, and hopefully I'll get a response from the folks over at Link Research Tools and Majestic about this. Going back to Google, it was funny. So there was a Webmaster Help thread, and somebody said, I noticed a sudden drop in my rankings right after the Penguin update. Typically, obviously it wasn't, but basically Google said no. These look like normal fluctuations for a site like yours. I don't see anything wrong with your site. Your site is fine. Your site did not drop because of Penguin. So it's funny to see people complaining about Penguin 2.0 and saying their site was hit by it. The truth is, I did a poll, and I did a poll just to play around with you guys, asking, were you hit by the Penguin 2.0, and were you actually released from it? Did you actually go ahead and recover from it? And a lot of SEOs said they did recover, even without a Penguin update happening. So it's interesting to see that, unless people were confused by my thread, which is definitely possible. Google's manual penalty. So what happens when you receive a manual penalty from Google you go ahead and submit a reconsideration request, and Google says, hey, no, you don't have a manual penalty. And this is over a course of a week or so. I go into the reasons why. Most of the time it might be because your penalty expired, but you definitely want to take a look at that in more detail if you are in that case. Eric Edge from Stone Temple went ahead and did a very detailed link-based interview with Matt Cutts of Google. I covered over Searcher Land and also I Searcher Roundtable this morning. And you definitely want to take a look at that. I love his interviews. He does a really great job interviewing search reps. You really want to take a look at that. I'm not going to go into detail here because I'm, again, in a rush, but you definitely want to take a look at that and learn from that. Google Maps released a new app. In that release, they actually dropped latitude in the My Maps feature. And also offline maps is harder. Google's actually bringing all these features back, except for latitude. Latitude will be gone forever, but they are actually integrating that into Google Plus in some way. It's not going to be latitude. It's going to be Google Plus location sharing or friend sharing or whatever you want to call it. So I have 3 stories about that, which is kind of excessive, and I apologize. Google is now reportedly paying AdBlock Plus to not block their ads. So one of the most popular extensions, browser extensions for blocking ads, called AdBlock Plus, is reportedly being paid by Google and other companies to whitelist them and not have their ads blocked. No response from Google on that. Google is now supposedly testing again this animated Google AdSense ad. It's kind of like a Genie effect. It's hard to show a screenshot, but it's basically a Genie effect. We reported this several months ago, and it seems to be happening again. Facebook has now expanded their rollout of graph search. They also added 2 more features. Now anybody in the US should be able to actually see graph search in their browser bar. The 2 new features include People I May Know and Movies My Friends Like. So if you haven't seen it yet, definitely want to check it out. Take a look at that. And finally, Google had a cool logo for the Roswell UFO incident. It was a 66th anniversary for that. It was a really cool doodle, interactive. You had to actually play it to actually get through to the search result. But it was very, very cool. And it was the Google UFO logo. So that pretty much recaps the Search Box Video Recap. Next week, hopefully I'll have glass on my face. And everyone have a great weekend. Again, I want to thank Elite T-shirts. Let me bring up their website for you guys. EliteFlyers.com for sponsoring this. Now, if you want a shirt, basically you have to tell me how long it took me to finish or to complete the UFO logo and to get to the search result. I have a video post out there. You can actually look at the video and see exactly how long it took. Then comment on this post, either on the YouTube channel, sorry, not the YouTube, but on the YouTube video, or in my blog post on seroundtable.com. If you get the number right in terms of how long it took, approximately, not to be exactly right, I'll go ahead and email me at barry@rustybrick.com, and I'll go ahead and send you a t-shirt. We sent it out. We try to send it out internationally. We sent out about 10 or so last week, and hopefully we sent a lot more. If you want to look at what those t-shirts look like, I'll post some pictures right now. And thanks again for listening to the Search Buzz Video Recap. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.